So a couple years ago, I read this book by MJ DeMarco. The book was called The Millionaire FASTLANE. I will link it down below, but it absolutely changed who I was as a person. And there's been several books that have done this, but this one book really was like the catalyst to me changing my life, becoming a different person entirely, and making more money than I knew what to do with. So today we're gonna talk about 8 things that I learned from hitting my first 6-figure month. So I know you're thinking like, was this girl a millionaire? Like, does she have the clout? Should I watch her? No, I am not a millionaire yet. We are about to hit 7 figures, and I will share with you guys the journey along the way. And that's kind of like what this channel is about. But I have hit several 6-figure months within the last year. And the first 6-figure month absolutely made me have a nervous breakdown, you guys. People assume that when you make a lot of money, you're like stress-free. Like I think Biggie says, and my husband reminds me all the time, mo money, mo problems. Okay, so the first time I made a lot of money, I just like couldn't even function. It really just like challenged everything I thought I knew about who I was and my reality. But I want to start with a quote from MJ DeMarco in that book. It says, "Time isn't a commodity, something you pass around like a cake. Time is the substance of life. When anyone asks you to give your time, they're really asking for a chunk of your life." And I just realized he didn't actually say that. It's a quote from someone else that he put in his book. But you guys get my point. And before we get into this video, my name is Hayley, and this channel is all about pursuing financial freedom by making an income online so that you can spend more time with your kids, so you don't have to hustle and grind your way towards a life of freedom, and you can travel the world and live that cheesy laptop lifestyle, which is absolutely possible because I know I'm living it. So if that's interesting to you and you want to prioritize family time over answering to a boss and having someone else tell you how to live your life for like the next 40 or 50 years, then go ahead and subscribe and get into the 8 things that I learned when I hit my first 6-figure month. So before I really get into this though, you guys are gonna be really triggered. Now, I don't think all of you guys, but I know that if I watched this video years ago, I would have thought, wow, this girl is just calling me out and I don't like what she's saying. It's challenging everything I feel so confident in believing. It's really challenging like my daily life and like who I am. So I want to warn you guys right now, these are beliefs that are going to piss you off. And it's good because when you grow, you learn new concepts and you grow into different ways of thinking. If I hadn't have challenged myself to change my belief system, I would not be here at all. So the first thing that I learned when I hit my first 6-figure month is it is a choice to be broke, okay? Now, I learned this again from like another book that I read. I don't even know. I've read so many like books from successful people because I wanted to model their behavior so bad. Everyone in my life was broke. And when I say broke, I just mean, answering to the man or just working an 8 to 5, right? So I was looking to people more successful than me, and I don't know who said it, but they said something along the lines of, it is selfish to be broke. And when I heard that, I was like, that is messed up. There are people like, people on the streets that have no money, and we should give to them, and we should, like help other people. And I totally believe in giving to people that have less than you. And sometimes they are in situations, like most of them, that are mental illness, depression, things that are beyond their control. They need like medication for it, they need help. But for the average everyday 8 to 5er, and I'm just gonna speak for myself before I really get you guys riled up. Even for myself, when I was an 8 to 5er and my husband too, we were selfish. We spent most of our time appeasing ourselves. We spent little time really helping other people. So that's like the first thing. It is a choice to be broke. And I guess the second little part to that, making money is easy. When I hit my first 6-figure month, I had a mental breakdown. Literally, I cried about it, and I was just anxiety ridden for like a good 2 weeks before I snapped myself out of it. And I still have bouts of that because you learn your whole life, you're conditioned through school and getting like D's and F's, or I don't know, maybe you weren't a bad student like me, but you learn through school that failure is bad. And that it is really hard to make money. You have to like go to school for 12 years. You have to go get a really hard college degree. You have to interview and prove yourself, and it's hard to make money. And then you have a cap on your pay, and you get told that you only have 2 weeks to go to vacation in Hawaii. You barely even get to see any of your vacation spots because you have to go back to work, and it's just hard. Life is hard. But when I learned that my first 6-figure month was really just the difference of a mindset shift, and I know you're gonna be like, oh, spare me, but just bear with me. I learned that making money is easy, and money is truly everywhere. It is abundant. If you have a scarce mentality, you're trying to penny pinch, you're trying to clip coupons, you're trying to like wait in a line at Costco, okay? Like a line like way down the street for like, I don't know, 30 minutes sometimes to save $1 on gas. Like that mentality that I used to have was keeping me broke because I was just consumed with, helping myself. So that is the first thing. The second thing, I'll lead with another quote. And that is, I woke to the epiphany that I was the driver of my life and my problems were the consequences of my choices. So this is obvious, we all know about the victim mentality and that in order to make a lot of money, you have to be self-aware and you have to help other people, put other people first. You have to find, problems that people are desperate for solutions to and provide those solutions. But what I didn't realize, and with this quote in the book that I was just referring to, is that the reason why I was broke was all because of my choices and my habits and the character that I painted myself out to be. And when I made my first six-figure month, that was the time where I learned that I had become a whole new person, that I had changed all of my beliefs. Everything that I thought wasn't possible was now possible for me. So in order to change your life and to have that financial success that you dream of and the lifestyle where you get to spend the majority of your time with your loved ones like I do, you have to take ownership for every single problem in your life. And with success, you have to analyze all of who you are as a being. And that's why I love being an entrepreneur so much, because it's really just a game of bettering yourself and your mental state and pushing yourself to improve. So that's the second thing. You cannot be a victim to hit six-figure months. You have to take ownership for everything. And if you think something's not possible, that's just a lie you're telling yourself. So you have to break those misbeliefs. You have to stop telling yourself lies because it's coming from a place of you being safe, and you have to take ownership for your life. So the third thing that I learned is that the deeper the pain point that you solve for other people, the more money you're going to make. So I used to just solve surface level pain points throughout all of my businesses. So if you guys don't know, about our story, we had an Amazon FBA business. We put $15,000 into selling physical products on Amazon, multiple products. And that was a very surface level pain point, right? So we only made a little bit of money. I think we came out of that making $40,000 or $50,000 max, which is good. That was a successful business. That was a win for us, our very first business. But it wasn't a ton of money, right? It wasn't a millionaire status because we sold different products. One of the products you guys probably know if you followed me was a high chair nursing cover, 5-in-1 type of contraption. And people aren't desperate for a nursing cover, right? So you just make a little bit of money unless you obviously sell volumes and impact the masses. So that was the first business. The second one is entertaining people on YouTube. I was a full-time YouTuber. You guys can watch the video from last week about that. And again, surface level problems. People just want to be entertained and they need an escape. I was teaching moms how to meal ideas for their babies or relationship advice, entertainment. And obviously now we teach people how to make a living online. And once we started that business and we knew people were desperate, especially during 2020, it really exploded. It really took off because people are absolutely in dire need of fulfilling that problem or solving that problem in their life. So the deeper the pain that you can cure for people, the more money that you're going to make. And I also love this quote from MJ DeMarco. It says, he really gives it to you straight. If you want to be sucker punched, read the book. He says, make a freaking impact and start providing value. Let money come to you. Look around outside your world, stop being selfish, like I said, and help your fellow humans solve their problems. In a world of selfishness, become unselfish. So the fourth thing that I learned is that you have to be excited to fail. So you have to sort of become a little psychotic, okay? So what I've learned from paying we're almost up to $100,000 in mentors and coaches. And right now we're learning from a guy who makes $1 million a month. It is wild. The people that are wealthy, rich, whatever you want to call it, their mentality is completely opposite to anyone that works a traditional 8 to 5. In our experience, what we learned from them. And their mentality is they are excited to fail. They're not necessarily excited. I know that's kind of a weird way to put it, but when they learn that something's not working, they have to fix it. They have to solve that so they can learn what does work. So imagine there's 10 doors in front of you. You're opening the first one, your solution isn't there. You haven't found success. You open the second one, no success. Third one, no success. Fourth one, no success. Fifth one, sixth one, whatever. And maybe it's the 10th door. Maybe it's the 8th. Maybe it's the 2nd. But you keep opening the doors until you find the success that you're looking for. And every open and closed door just means that you're closer towards getting the success that you desire. So in order for me to go from 20K a month scrambling YouTuber, from a depressed, anxious person who did not like the business that I had, to an almost 7-figure per year entrepreneur within just 12 months, there had to be a really big shift. And I had to become a little crazy, okay? So I had to be excited to fail, because the more times you fail, the more chances that you are to find what works. So the fifth thing that I learned really hardcore, and one of the biggest reasons why I made that first six-figure month, is that you need to accelerate the rate at which you can achieve success. You want to analyze success paths. You want to study people that have a lot of success and mimic their success path. It is so amazing to live in these times because everyone's making a ton of money on social media and just online, and you can go and look exactly how they're making their money and how many, whatever YouTube videos they put up, or how many courses they launched, or how many businesses were failures and which one succeeds. And you can choose the success path that is right for you and your life and your priorities. So the point that I'm trying to make is stop trying to figure it out on your own. Obviously, I've spent almost six figures in courses and mentors, and so I practice what I preach. I spend a ton of money. I'm never in a period of my life throughout the past 2 years of not investing in a coach or a mentor, because I do not have it in me to be patient. Like, you don't have to be patient, and you can learn what not to do. You can literally be told by people that are more successful than you how to make the living that you want to be making. You really want to accelerate your timeline to success by paying for coaches and mentors so you don't have to waste years of your life trying to figure it out on your own. The sixth reason why I was able to hit my first six-figure month is that right before that, I absolutely stopped comparing myself, whether consciously or subconsciously, to the people that surrounded my life. So at the time, and even right now, most people that are like, friends or family, they just work 8 to 5 jobs. And you guys, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not something that I want to do, So I can't take advice or envy or be jealous or want the things that people have that are 8 to 5. The things that most people that work regular jobs prioritize are buying a house, having nice things, buying a nice car, going on 2-week vacations. And if I don't want to live that lifestyle, I can't be investing my money into things that everyone else in my life are investing their money into. Hence why I did not buy a house. We didn't even have a second car. We still don't, because we're putting it all into coaches and mentors, because the thing that I prioritized the most that allowed me to hit that crazy income bracket, or whatever you want to call it, is my time, which kind of goes back to the very first quote in this video. Time is the most precious commodity. And most people that work regular jobs and the people in your life, they don't care. They will, like I said, sit in a line at Costco for 30 minutes to save a couple bucks on gas, or, wait in line to get like a free movie, I don't know, at the theater on Wednesday night, which there's nothing wrong with those things necessarily, but that mentality is not going to make you successful or wealthy. In fact, it's going to delay the timeline of that happening. So you have to ask yourself, if you do envy or look up to or want to mimic the people in your life and their lifestyle, you want to ask yourself, how are they actually making their money? How long did it take them to make their money? Do they have the ability to spend most of their time in leisure, like with their family, or do they spend most of their time working? And what are you willing to sacrifice to value your time? The last thing that I'm going to end it on is this phrase that I learned, and this phrase is great. I have it on my phone. It's like my background, and it is be animalistic. So that phrase, for some reason, just like triggers me. When I think of someone being animalistic, I think of them literally, and my husband and I say this phrase back and forth all the time, scratching and clawing your way towards success. Now, I know that when I put up these types of videos, everyone will think, well, Hayley, prioritize your kids. Like, you should be a stay-at-home mom, or, you should, I don't know, like not be so greedy and money hungry, but I do. I prioritize all my kids. Number one, I spend probably 90% of my time with my kids and 10% of it working at night. So I do prioritize those things. Money isn't everything, but you can still take like an hour a day and be animalistic. Be animalistic doesn't mean you have to work and like neglect your whole family and be greedy and money hungry. You can just be animalistic with like 30 minutes, an hour a day. That's what I do. That's how I'm doing like these videos right now. I am like, my kids are outside and I'll do whatever it takes to get them done. I will block everything else out and not make excuses. That's sort of like what be animalistic is. But for me, it also meant increase the rate at which you generate cash. So everyone knows the phrase, Dave Ramsey says it, everyone else, cash is king, So when you have cash, you have control over your life. And you don't have control over your life when you own multiple cars that are, you have loans for them and you're trying to like have them as a status symbol. You don't have control over your life and security and like low amounts of stress when you own a home that you really can't afford, or you own a home and you put all your money into that home. You still feel anxious and stressed and you have to like constantly keep up. Like, that's not the life I want to live. The mentality that really allowed me to hit that first six-figure month is, for example, if my house were to burn up and catch on fire, or else I had to make like whatever it is, 10K or 20K a month within the next 6 months, within the next 60 days, however much you want to sacrifice, you would figure out a way to do it. You know, if something was on the line, you'd figure out a way to hit like the 10K a month, to quit your job, whatever. It's just that everyone lives really comfortable lives, especially Americans. I said this on my Instagram the other day. It's hard to have success for people, not because it's hard, because it is so easy. Money's everywhere. It's easy to make money. It's easy to do it even with an hour a day, like leveraging social media. It's crazy. But what's hard is the mental shifts that I just discussed. What is hard is, you know, sacrificing like your leisure nights with your spouse in order to work on your business. Or basically what's hard is actually wanting it bad enough, you know, being animalistic. So that is the last thing that has allowed me, and all the things that has allowed me to hit that first 6-figure month, and why I sort of had like the mental breakdown. I mean, I didn't really go into that. Maybe I'll do another video for that. But definitely go ahead and subscribe if you're new. I also have a free Facebook group where I talk about different ways to make money online, what's the most lucrative. I focus on online courses and how that has absolutely freed my family from just all the things that most people have to deal with. And we're able to help, you know, our family members and other people do it. So definitely go ahead and join that below. I also have a mini course, which talks about making multiple 6 figures with a small audience with digital products. So we can get you guys the login to that if you want more information with that. It's down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.